Hi, my name's Ben. We sell financial planning to high-income accumulators in Australia. We're currently around $8 million in revenue and looking to double that to $16 million by the end of our next financial year, which is...
What do you sell to high-income earners? What was it?
Financial planning.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
And so my overarching question is about in the last 12 months we have doubled our team, and that's sort of compressed our margins, so the profitability has not been great. I'm looking at all of the disruption that's coming through with AI and technology, and we're currently very labour intensive delivery model. Every financial advisor has 2 support staff, and that means we got 10 advisors, so we've got a 30-person team to do that delivery. We have started investing in our technology, so we started a development team. We've got 2 offshore devs, and we've just hired a lead engineer in Australia. But the question is, how much do we invest in sort of growing out the team and the business versus trying to take some cash off the table and stock the war chest, given all the disruption that's coming?
It's funny because the way that you thought about it, I think about it differently, which is the war chest you would spend to future-proof the business. So I wouldn't wait to future-proof the business. I would want to future-proof it now.
I wouldn't say that we're waiting. Like I said, we're investing in that tech, but it's like how future-proof is any business with AI and how quickly it's progressing?
I think AI is moving very quickly. I don't think adoption among humans is going to change. Like, humans are still humans, and so the adoption rate, like, people who are really smart and work really hard will get more than they did before because the tech is better. And so since the dawn of time, it has been man plus tools against man plus tools. So as long as it's man plus tools versus man plus tools, then that's the game we've always been playing. As soon as it's tools versus man, we're all fucked. And so, but we're not there. And so I want to solve the problems that I have today with an eye for tomorrow, meaning in a future state, let's say 18 months from now, if you could keep your headcount the same, but then take on 2 or 3 times the customers, that would be a W, right?
100%.
That's achievable today.
Yeah, that's what we're working on.
Right, and so I think that the allocation of resources towards achieving that feels like the right idea. If in the short term you bring on other advisors because it's going to generate more revenue for the business, I don't see that as necessarily detractive. Like, we still need to do business, but we're just rapidly trying to build up the infrastructure, basically the tech infrastructure. We're doing this, right? We're still hiring people. We're just being very specific about where we're hiring. So, like, our media team, for example, has tripled output, and the headcount has stayed close to the same. In some roles, like, for example, SDRs, we're still hiring humans because human is still better than the best AI we've been working on the voice AI for 2 years. We do have an AI text agent that sells around 200 units a month, just one agent. And so, like, there's things, it's in pockets, and it's just making sure that you're the first one to get into those pockets and kind of explore. I do think that there is this, I'm not just talking to everybody. I would encourage you to not be fearful.
Mm-hmm. It's just like that, it's like how much, because we're sort of, we've got a good reputation in the marketplace. I see all these opportunities. I'm like, I could go incredibly hard at this, but then at the same time, I'm sort of just a little bit cautious to go and have, close to zero margin to fully, go hard.
So the question that you ask is one question that there is no right answer to. So there's a handful of like those, which is, do I push or do I pivot? Do I invest or do I spend? Like, these are entirely personal questions, and the one that you're asking is about risk, which is how much risk tolerance. If you ask Elon, he'd be like, go all in, sleep on the fucking couch, I don't give a shit, right? I'm just saying, he has one of the highest risk tolerances of all entrepreneurs out there. Independent of what you think about, who he is or whatever. Objectively, from an entrepreneurship perspective, his risk tolerance is sky high. There's other people who have been in the same situation and said, I'm going to take some chips off the table, I'm going to take care of my family, make sure that they're set. What's the right answer? If you're right, that was the right answer. If you're wrong, that was the right answer. And so
I don't know if I'll be right or wrong.
Right. I mean, I'll say that for me personally, on the earlier part of my career, I aggressively saved to put my own oxygen mask on so that I could take big fucking swings later. And so that's basically been my operating model. So when I was making $20,000 a month, I was living on 500. And when I was making $1 million a month, we were living on like 10 or 15 grand. And that has basically continued to scale up because I always feel like the future is going to be brighter than the past, and I want to be there ready to crush it and not be able. I want to be able to swing at a fat pitch when it comes.
Okay, well, thank you.
And I want to pause one thing back to your point, which is like, I think this may be relatively controversial, but I believe that most entrepreneurs' lifestyle is their greatest risk, more than the risk they take in the business. Because your lifestyle is basically the outside business fixed cost of surviving. And so if your fixed cost of living, like basically if you're like super optimizing on this side to pinch every penny, and then over here you just blow all your money, to me it's all one. Like for most of us own the majority of our businesses, if not all of them. In which case, it's all one bank account. You know, it's all daddy's bank, right? And so I see them as blended. And I think many people are so risk averse here because they take so much risk here, and this risk has no ROI. Yeah.
If you're a business owner and you're not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information, and if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team, and we will look at the business, see if we can help, and if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas, and we'll do this in person live.